Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again to do part 2 of the Gateway Days video that I was inspired to create here. So we're doing some charms and tarot. I had already laid out a spread, and I'm also looking at what's going to come through the Gateway Days that have previously happened. We're looking at January 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So anything that could come through those days, that, like, for example, if something happened on the 13th, but you haven't heard about it yet, or it hasn't reached your inbox yet, or it hasn't reached your mail, or somehow there might be something that's going to affect you from what came through on one of those days. So I'm looking at what's going to come through. Part 1, I also mentioned that this is a very special reading because I'm dedicating this reading to my friend Karen, who passed away on one of the Gateway Days on the 11th. She was 80. She's a very special friend that was just there for me all last year, supporting me, being supportive, rooting for me. And I knew this was coming, but I actually didn't know when it was going to happen, and it happened faster than I was expecting. I did get to say goodbye to her, and I will always cherish her friendship forever. So this reading is dedicated to her. So what's going to come through? Okay, so let's look at some of the things that I had not yet mentioned. I do feel, okay, we have this turtle here, and sometimes things can come through slower than you're expecting. So I did see that before, but I didn't talk about it. So you might, things might have been moving slowly. So maybe something that was supposed to come through during one of the Gateway Days didn't come through. Maybe it's just moving slowly, and you're going to be getting it within, I want to say, like a week's time. Could be a couple of days to a couple of weeks. It could come through the Gateway Days that we're in right now, or it could come through sometime later after that. But to me, it's a slower moving energy. So if you applied for something, or if you asked for something, this may be like a slow response. That's what I'm seeing. I also feel that there are some unexpected things that are going to come through. This is kind of one of those interesting things about a Gateway Day. It's kind of a portal, and so there is this element of surprise or an element of mystery to it. It's like a connection to the divine. It's a chance for your guides and angels to really bring you something that you've needed, or to take out or remove something that you don't want any longer. So it's just like one of those things. There could be some element of, I want to say, mystery, or like there's no way to really tell what exactly is going to happen, because for some, like, your guides and angels do not want you to know like what's going to happen. So to me, there's an element of surprise here. I do feel like there is some financial elements that might be challenging for some of you. Like during this time, there might be some financial challenges that come up through this, but I also feel like there's financial blessings as well. So I feel we have the Six of Wands coming in for the outside, and the Six of Wands to me is a card about winning, about success, about getting a call back, about somebody reaching out, about climbing the ladder, getting in advance, getting ahead in some way. I don't know why the Five of Pentacles comes after that. Some of you just might be in a state of maybe seasonal depression, or seasonal, blues, or just not really be expecting that to come through at all. For some, you might have given up on anything coming through that's positive. You might be like, well, look, I'm SOL and it's just not going to happen, or whatever. That might be your attitude with the Five of Pentacles there. But I don't think that the outcome is going to be as dismal as what you're thinking. Yeah, I definitely don't. Yeah, I don't feel that. Wow. there's going to be a significant shift, okay? For some of you, there's a significant shift in your perspective. Meaning, and I saw this with the switching paths. So for some, this is like a new cycle or a new path or a new way of looking at life. I posted this video like just a little bit ago about coming back to life after feeling grief or feeling low or feeling like you don't have your spark. And so for some, this is getting your spark back. For some, that you're going to feel during one of these days that you got your spark back, that you've got some mojo, that you have confidence, that you're kind of going out there in the world and you're successful, or you feel good about yourself, the way you look. For some, this is your appearance. Maybe it's doing something with, like changing your exercise routine or, and losing some weight for some of you. And for some, this is, maybe doing your hair or, getting something that, I don't know, like for yourself, maybe it's some personal care item. But to me, it feels very like you've got, some mojo, you've got some wings, you've got this, you get the Judgment card here. To me, this is wings. With the Judgment card also, I didn't even notice this. The Judgment card also, especially in this position, this is things looking up. So for some of you, you might have felt very down during this, during this period. For some, this winter, you felt down. For others, it's just that your perspective is going to be shifting. And so you're going to feel like lighter. You're like you have wings, that like maybe you're starting a new chapter, turning over a new leaf. Now, a lot of people do that collectively in the beginning of the year, or try to anyways. So some of you may be, shooting for some goals. Like, maybe your goals are to lose weight, or maybe your goals are to start a new exercise routine, or do something that's like you're religious about, that you're, making sure you're doing every day. But I feel like the energy is super radiant, super positive. So going back to what I said in part 1 about this orange flag, it's fascinating. I don't see it as being a bad thing, but I definitely feel that, like, if you have any signs or signals or like red flags where you're like, I don't feel like it's a good day to go out, then this is not the day to do it. The gateway days can bring things that wouldn't normally happen. I don't want to say like what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing specifically, for some, this is where things can happen, especially if there's any kind of moon energy. The moon can influence, especially in the 6th house, influence things like this. So this is where, I tell people not to mess around on gateway days. Okay, if it's a gateway day, if it's an 11 day, if it has any 11s in it, you got to watch out for that. And it does, because it's 1117, it's 1118, it's 1119. These are the days where things can really happen. Things can really amp up. So you're going to want to be careful about, where you're going, what you're doing. I do feel like overall the energy is really beautiful. So you can't really go wrong. It's just more of like an awareness, I do feel that someone is going to get something from a person that they thought would never do it. So like, say you're like, okay, someone owes you a little bit of money and you think they're never going to give it to you. That's going to come through. For some, you're going to learn about, just like my friend, you're going to learn about somebody who's passed away during one of these days. And maybe you learn about it later. I see that for some. I do also see some of you being very determined not to really have, I want to say, relationships to people that didn't either come through for you or weren't necessarily in your corner at times in your life. So like I feel like during this period of time, you're going to be very solid with your boundaries. I feel like you're going to be really like, okay, yeah, no, that person sucks. I don't want to talk to that person. Like really walling up for some of you. I definitely feel like you're going to get a positive call or message. This could be words of love or words of confirmation or just someone apologizing. I definitely feel like with the feather here, and this, to me, this is both a phone call or text that's very positive. You might be feeling more playful or more peaceful during this period of time. Again, there's a lot of stuff about cycles where we have the Judgment, which is like a new path, embracing music and art. And because this is dedicated to Karen taught art. She went to all kinds of gallery openings and things like that. So some of you might be thinking about going to a gallery opening or making some art or playing some music somewhere for some of you who play instruments. But the element of romance is also here as well with the Four of Wands and the roses. So again, that could pop up unexpectedly during one of these days. Okay, I have to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. I send everyone big hugs and big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care.